Good evening. My name is Tommy Ratliff. I'm a candidate for Hays County Sheriff. I want to thank the moderator. I want to thank all the Hays County Republicans for putting this together. I know it took a lot of time. I want to thank my wife, Carrie, for being here. Without her, I certainly wouldn't be up here doing this without her support. My two children are not here tonight. I have a daughter that's 15 and a son that's 13, and they're getting ready for school tomorrow, so that's the reason they're not here. One thing I want to talk about is my experience. I have 33 years of experience with the Texas Department of Public Safety, 21 years of that as a Texas Ranger, and then I was appointed and was your sheriff for a little less than 2 years. In that period of time, I learned a lot about the sheriff's office, the jail, and etc. One thing I did find out, there's a lot of misinformation out there about the jail, and I want to talk a little bit about that. When I came into office, I found that the jail had some really serious issues. A lot of physical things that were wrong with it. There were a lot of things, the roof that was leaking and been leaking for about 10 years. So we jumped on this and we realized that there was a problem. So what we did was we put stuff together, we sent it to the Commissioner's Court and said we need some help in getting this done. Commissioner's Court eventually stood up and we all went to work with the District Attorney's Office, the judges, Commissioner's Court, and everybody got together, and all the hard work that the county sheriff's office people did, we put the inmates to work. We put the inmates to work inside and outside that jail. They painted about 90% of that jail on the inside. We had to fix walls, we had leaks, we had toilet issues, flushing issues, we had issues with the shower, we had issues with the kitchen. It was amazing to me the status of that jail when I got there. We went to work, did a lot of work. Commissioner's Court hired a company called Broadus and Associates. This group went to work with us. We painted about 90% of the inside of that jail. We fixed that jail. We put a new roof on it, started a new air conditioner system in that jail. We put a whole brand new kitchen in that jail. From the ceiling to the floor was brand new whenever I left there. We had a brand new walk-in cooler that we put in there. It was when Gary took over that jail and he took over that kitchen, it was brand new. We had a brand new roof put on there so there are no more leaks in there. The only thing that wasn't painted was stuff we didn't have time for because we had to get that jail ready for an inspection. The jail is inspected officially, formally, once a year. And we knew that we were in trouble because the jail commission had told us if we didn't get these issues taken care of, we would not pass. So you need to know that there was a lot of people working, a lot of people at the sheriff's office that were working extremely hard. Before Gary took over in September 13th or 14th, that jail passed jail inspection. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Most people know me. I am your Republican and your conservative sheriff. Talking about when I ran 2 years ago, Mr. Ratliff was my opponent as a Democrat. I have a voting record as a Republican, a voting record all over the county supporting the Republican Party. I do want to talk about when I came into office, there was a lot of waste taking place. Okay, I found out that a $40,000 Dodge pickup truck was purchased out of a discretionary account out of the sheriff's office for the sheriff to drive for his personal use. That time this car was purchased, there were 180 vehicles in the sheriff's department fleet that could be used. I use a fleet vehicle, and to me that's a waste of money. Let's talk about this jail. I'm not here to talk about the kitchen because it was new, and the roof, I understand that. But when I got to the jail had failed 2 out of 3 inspections, I found that it had mold and mildew in certain areas, and behind the pipe chases, behind the cell blocks was stagnant water. There were gnats in the female tank. I put inmates to work painting, scrubbing, mopping, and when the jail inspector came out, he told me he passed it with no problems, and he said it's the cleanest he's seen the jail in 3 years. One thing I also want to talk about this jail, this is the same jail that inmates are allowed to stay up at night till 1:30 in the morning. There's no reason for inmates to stay up till 1:30 in the morning. I put the inmates to bed every night at 10 o'clock. I turn off half of 1,038 lights in that jail. I'm saving you, the taxpayers, $3,000 to $4,000 a month in utility bills alone. It's also, I found out when I got there that inmates are being outsourced to another county, Guadalupe County, at the tune of $1.1 million of taxpayers' monies was used to outsource these inmates. And I was 6 weeks after being in office, I pulled every inmate back to Guadalupe County. That's well over a year ago. And just last year alone, I've saved the taxpayer between $400,000 and $500,000 on not outsourcing inmates. One last thing I want to say is that my budget, my first budget in office was $273,000 less than my predecessor. And I'm glad to stand here and tell you tonight I've been endorsed by every law enforcement agency in all of Hays County. Unanimous endorsement of Hays County Office Association, Cobb Police Department, Butte Police Department, San Marcos Police Department, longtime former Sheriff Don Montague, former State Rep and Sheriff of Travis County Terry Keel, former Chief of the Texas Rangers Earl Pierce, and the Captain Charlie Brown of the Texas Rangers. They all endorsed me, including the Fraternal Order of Police. I'm asking you for your support. Thank you.
Since each candidate has been sheriff in Hays County, explain how, as Hays County Sheriff, you were sheriff that implemented conservative values, and how, as sheriff for the next 4 years, you will govern as a conservative. First up, Sheriff Gary Cutler.
Thank you. Well, how we've done this as the Sheriff's Department is I've pointed out the saving of $1.1 million, or $400,000 to $500,000 that we spent $1.1 million. That's very conservative. I've implemented programs at the Sheriff's Office, budget director, a communication director, a HR director, all this at no cost to the taxpayers, and I will continue to do that. I brought on video magistration, where our JPs and magistrates can, right here in Wimberley, can magistrate inmates from the Hays County Jail without driving over there. That's conservative. I brought on a victim assistance program with volunteers, 14 volunteers, and I got a grant position for the coordinator. Hays County's never had a victim assistance program. We used to have to go to San Marcos. That's a great deal. What we're going to do, we're going to also put into place visitation through the cells. It's called video visitation, where inmates can talk to their clients without inmates ever leaving the cell, and also they can talk to their family. The county can make money because we'll be able to charge for the use of the phone. So we got a lot of plans for that, and I will continue to be your conservative sheriff.
I'm sorry. Gary, I'm amazed here that you say you have a victim. You were the first one to set up a victim assistance program, and I know for a fact that Don Montague had one set up, and Alan Bridges had one, and I had one while I was there. So you're not the first sheriff that ever had that. So I really wish you would be careful about saying stuff like that. As far as being a conservative, I am a conservative. I ran the sheriff's office as a conservative. When I was there, I returned money to the county. As far as the inmates, the reason, I'm going to go back to that jail issue because he's not telling you all the facts here. Number one, that jail, when you shut down a quad in the jail, which is a section of the jail, you have to move those inmates out to paint it and clean them up. You cannot leave them there. We had to send those inmates to Guadalupe County and to stay there during the duration of us cleaning and fixing that jail. Gary's not telling you the whole truth. As soon as those inmates those sections of the jail are finished, we brought those inmates back. Our date to have every inmate back was January 1st, 2011. We didn't get it done because I was out of office. Thank you.
No, I'm not misleading you. I can tell you right now, the tune of $1.1 million was spent shipping those inmates to Guadalupe County. And it's amazing to me how I can be in office 6 weeks and bring all of them back and keep them here for well over a year now. We turned some rooms into the jail that were recreational rooms, approved by jail standards in the holding areas. There's all kinds of measures you can take in that jail. I'm working a deal with Travis County right now to house inmates up there in emergency situations so the taxpayers won't be out any money. So I am telling you about the truth about the jail. Thank you.
Gray Hampton sent out an email that said that he had no idea what you were talking about when you talked about doing it for $4 to $5 per inmate. That's absolutely unheard of. He sent an email out and said that there's no way possible he could do that. And so I really wish he wouldn't do that, Gary. It all goes back to the same thing. When I got there, that jail, it was not in good shape. The employees worked extremely hard. We had to get that jail up and back up to standards, and which we did before he ever came into office. Thank you.
Our last question of the evening, what are your specific goals for improving the operation of the Sheriff's Department for the next 4 years? First up, Tommy Ratliff.
Well, one of the very first things I'm going to do when I get back into office is I started what's called a drug interdiction team. This team was brought in to go across the county and look for people that are hauling drugs and doing burglaries in the county. And one of the first things Gary did when he came into office was he disbanded the drug interdiction team in Hays County. I'm going to bring that back.